Self-love is hard, especially when you have grown up with all kinds of direct and indirect messages that tell you you're ugly, you're not worthy of care and respect and kindness and acceptance. Those are messages that I have gotten on and off since I was 7 years old. And I was able to reach a point in my mid-30s where I was okay with who I was, where I was in life, with my looks, my body, even my hair loss, because that started in my late 20s. And by the time I was about 35 or so, I was to the point where I was wearing wigs or weaves on a regular basis, right? I had a kick-ass hairdresser, by the way, by then, and I will leave her information down below because even though I have no hair today, I would be going to her to treat my scalp if for no other reason than she was one of the few people who at that time really spoke life into me. You know, I was feeling some kind of way when I first started going to her, and at no point in time did she ever treat me or talk to me as if my hair loss, my lack of makeup, my lack of beauty, right, was ever an issue. You know, she was always very complimentary. She spoke life into me. And so anyway, so about 35, when I hit 35, I hit my stride. I just knew I was sexy. You couldn't really tell me anything about about who I was. You just, no matter what negative looks or remarks I got by that time, they bounced off me. Oh my God, going out to the clubs, whatever, dancing, flirting, speaking my mind, just basically just doing me, right? 35 to 45. It was just an amazing time in my life. And I think that is how the character Mackenzie came about, to be honest. She definitely represented that part in my life, that aspect to my life. And then the lead character of the story, Lex, she was the person I had been up to that point. So they came to represent what I'd gone through and who I had become. And then right around 47, I started gaining weight. Subtle at first, right? But I started gaining weight. And the hair loss seemed to accelerate. And so it was getting more difficult to find, not more difficult. The weaves had to be way more elaborate. There just wasn't that much hair to braid, right? or to attach a wig cap to, and it was starting to get just really obvious that I was clinging to an illusion, right? And because of the weight gain, I wasn't able to fit into the clothes that I had. I didn't look good in them anymore. So consequently, I didn't feel good in them anymore. I broke a bone in my right ankle. I fell, broke a bone in my right ankle, was in a boot for 6 weeks, about 6 weeks. And then I got the boot off, and it took me probably another maybe 2 to 3 weeks to really get back to walking normally. And I couldn't wear my heels anymore for, during that time frame. I just could not put the pressure on that ankle in those heels anymore. And so I stopped wearing them for a bit, and right around the time when I, felt like I was coming back, I felt like, okay, the ankle's pretty good, the leg's healing, blah, blah, blah. I sprained my left ankle. I twisted my ankle at a dance club wearing sneakers. You hear me? They weren't even platform sneakers. I was wearing sneakers, and I went to drop it like it was hot, and my ankle just rolled, right? So now my left ankle had me laid up for about a month. And after that, I struggled to walk in heels. Struggled mightily, and so I lost that. And then I hit 50. And at that point, I made the decision to shave my head. And in doing so, I lost the last little bit of what I considered to be the me that I had wanted to be. The flirty, sexy, confident me was gone. And I think it's funny that people see me, they compliment me on being, quote, brave in shaving my head. And it's not about being brave. It's about, I made a decision, and despite that decision, I still had to appear in public. I still had to go to work. I still had to go to the grocery store. I couldn't just shave my head and then hide like I wanted to. I had to be out. I had to be bald in public, so to speak.
Now you are family. Okay. All my life, I had a lump at the back of my neck, right here. Always a lump. Then I started menopause, and the lump got bigger. From the hormones, it started to grow. So I go to the doctor, and he did the biopsy. And inside the lump, he found teeth and a spinal column. Yes, inside the lump was my twin.
Now, yes, I could be wearing wigs to this day, but you know what's even scarier than being bald in public? It's having a wig fall off in public. That was something I just was not, oh my God, the idea. I'm like, oh no, we are not. I heard how people whose hair pieces, wigs, or whatever fell off, at the club or at the amusement park or whatever. I heard what people were saying about them, and I didn't want to be that. It was bad enough I was bald. I did not want to be out somewhere and have my baldness, revealed in such a way, right? So yeah, so once all that disappeared, I was again that 9-year-old kid, that 10-year-old kid who had received and absorbed all those messages that said I wasn't worthy. I was either too this or not enough that, right? And by 50, oh my goodness. And, folks keep telling me, oh, well, menopause and weight gain in your middle age, it just happens to everybody, blah, blah, blah. But I basically lost, as far as I was concerned, everything that had made me, quote, worthy to begin with, right? Okay, so 2020 rolls in and then rolls over everything. I gain even more weight. But, I'm inside, nobody can see me or whatever. But then the isolation has started to wear on me. And I want out. I want people. I want dance clubs again. I want flirting. I want to take myself to the movies, to take myself out to dinner, between 35 and 45, if I wanted to do something, I got up and did it, whether I was with somebody or not. And, all of that went away, right? So I purposefully pulled characters these first couple of months who embodied that which I feel I've lost. That self-confidence, that love and acceptance of who you are, regardless of what others may say or think or see you as. Mackenzie's not in the, spoiler, Mackenzie's not in the book that much, right? But when she shows up so fully herself that I want that back. I want that back. And so that's why I have chosen her for this month. Now, I wanted to include in this video some of the resources that I'm using to help me reclaim that self-love, self-acceptance, And one of them is the book, The Gifts of Imperfection by Dr. Brené Brown. If I had to sum it up, I would say that this book offered me a roadmap, specific kind of milestones to reach for, things, exercises to practice that had me taking a more compassionate, honest look at who I am, my strengths, my weaknesses, my highs, my lows, my positives, my negatives, if you want to put it that way, had me looking at my whole self and realizing the gifts in all of the aspects of the woman I am. The gifts in being bald, the gifts in having the love handles, if you will, the gifts in my values, my beliefs, the things that I will and won't do, my family connections, my friendships. It had me looking at how I show up in all of these different areas and finding the gift, finding the lesson, finding the reason to be in love with who I am as a whole, flawed, spiritual being here in this world. And I can't sing its praises enough. I really, and it's a quick read, you know. Now, do I recommend that perhaps you have a therapist on call when you read it? Yes. Yes, I do. Because there are going to be some spaces and places that you go to as you're doing this work that, you know, you could use a professional's take, right? Or somebody in a professional capacity who can hold your hand and walk you through those memories, through those feelings, help you excavate the dirt in order to find the gem, the gift that lies within. Highly, highly recommend that book. Another resource I have used is I consider her a friend of mine who is doing pretty, I'd say, powerful work in the life coaching arena. And her name is Kate Bailey. I will, of course, link all of her stuff down below. But we met at a women's workshop kind of deal in New York City back in 2018. I think it was 2018 when I did that. And I have watched her go from, oh, I'm not so sure if, to the easiest way I can describe it is to major badassery in terms of showing up authentically and speaking life and power into other women. And so I was fortunate enough to take one of her courses here recently. And it was the work in that course that prompted the whole leading lady challenge to begin with. Because a lot of what she taught me in that course, a lot of what she teaches in that course, is how to love yourself and then show up loud, shining bright as your authentic self. So definitely highly recommend that you check out Kate Bailey and the Play Big Queen experience. Again, all that will be linked below. Alrighty, I think that's enough. I have talked more than I maybe should have. It's the internet. I have basically bared one of my biggest insecurities here on YouTube. So I think now it's time for me to, quote, practice what I preach and go do some self-care. So yeah, thanks as always for stopping by the channel. You know the drill. If you wouldn't mind, please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. And I will, as they say, see you in the next one.